Anthony Dallmann-Jones here, and the topic we've been studying is codependency, and I think that most people are either familiar with it to understand what I'm about to say, or this will give you that familiarity. First of all, we know that codependency is best defined by two words, or generally defined with looking elsewhere. Looking elsewhere for meaning, for security, for a sense of life. So with that in mind, I want to tell you about my experience with uncovering my own codependency. I was a therapist. This is back 25 years ago or so. And at that time, it was kind of breaking into the self-help field. A lot of talk about children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families, and I had a therapy practice and had a full boat full of clients and 2 group therapy sessions at night, and one of those was a codependency group. I was in my office. I remember exactly where I was. Where I was standing. There was no one in the office. I had a little bay window. I had a couch, a little love seat, and my chair. Very cozy, very intimate, safe. And I don't remember what I was doing, but I just remember where I was standing. And I said, well, I'm a codependent. You know, there are supernatural moments in life, or something, extraordinary moments. This was one of mine. I said it just like that. I'm not even sure it was out loud. Well, I'm a codependent. And I felt the heat come up in me, literally, like a volcano just came up, and my face was hot, and I was alarmed. I thought I was having a heart attack, and I was probably 10 steps away from a bathroom, a downstairs bathroom in my office. I went in there and turned on the bathroom light. I looked in the mirror, and folks, I was as red as the proverbial tomato. Okay? Like I'd laid in the sun for 14 hours. It was scary. I thought, I am having a heart attack. It was amazing. You know, it was just amazing. And there's some validity in an experience like that. You know, it's not like, oh, I had this thought, or I had this, I wondered, or yeah, I'm pretty sure. This was like an amazing physiological underlining of the truth. Now, my analysis on that is I go backwards a little bit and analyze it. And as a matter of fact, it's not a whole lot of analysis because I just kind of got it at the time after my adrenaline and everything had gone down, because I myself had talked to my clients who were admitted codependents that removing codependency was not like wart removal, but it was more like removing every other molecule of your body, trying to make a point, and not a very, it wasn't an overstated point. We are so immersed in codependency that it's become such a part of our life, our society, our movies, our songs, our Hallmark cards, that it's difficult to separate it from being a regular, normal, healthy person. Okay, we're so used to it that we don't realize that it's crept not just up on us, but into us. I also knew that as a therapist, in order to have integrity, to be able to talk to my clients, like if I'm chain smoking in the garage, then I'm going to run into my clients and say, you should quit smoking. So I realized that I was going to have to go through my own treatment, and I knew that I was going to have to give up those every other molecules. Was a lot of behaviors that I was very attached to. And folks, here's the thing about codependency. It's not always terrible. I mean, it's like, I've never been a morphine addict, but I think there's some pretty good things about it that people talk about, the dreamy state, or feeling lighter than air, or being fully relaxed, or feeling, you know, at peace with the world, or whatever. I may be getting my drugs mixed up, but there's a good part, in essence, well, not in essence, but in appearance, of having an addiction. There's a payoff. There's a reason. There's a reason we let it grow inside us and didn't throw it out immediately. We got led into it. It was a carrot dangling in front of our face, and we said yes to it. And you have to admit that too. That's the humility. That's that's painful, especially when you've set yourself up as a teacher or a therapist to say, "Oh well, I'm a codependent," and then know that that should be written in capital letters and emboldened and underlined and highlighted and with exclamation points sprinkled all through it, is a little tough on you, okay? But again, I knew that if you're going to say it, if you know it, you got to do something about it. So while I was a therapist, I was doing my own therapy at a nearby hospital, which had one of the few treatment centers for codependency, the Halterman Center outside London, Ohio. There were only 3 at the time, one in Florida, Suncoast, the Meadows in Arizona, and the Halterman Center in Ohio, in the weeds. I don't know. So anyway, I was going there, and Patsy was my therapist, and she put me through the ringer. And I did a lot of work, You're never finished with an addiction. You're never finished with your codependency. But if you know it about it, you know, and you can feel when it's kicking in, you also now have the freedom to say, no, I don't want to go there again. You know, it's kind of like if you were an alcoholic and somebody says, well, let's go to Jim's wedding, and then we're going out to the bachelor party before, down at a bar, and you go, you can feel it, bar, ooh, getting a little bit loaded and laughing with my friends. But you know what's kicking in inside, and you can say no. So you understand, the quote disease is still there, but because of recovery and the honesty it takes to get there, and I'm not setting myself up as a saint at all, hardly, but because of that, you can say no and hopefully stick to it. So I'm going to repeat myself just a little bit to explain. As we're reading through these books and articles on codependency, and we talk about earnestly, most of you are teachers or going to be teachers, how do I, quote, cure my students of codependency, or, how do I help them? There's really 2 things you can do. One is to, the old expression, heal thyself. 2 is to be a good role model, and healing yourself is a good role model. 3 is to learn. Now, there's a professor talking, but I think I would say it even if I wasn't. Learn, read, study, contemplate, reflect, talk to other people about it. Get to know your disease. Get to know your enemy that lives within. Get to know it. Neutralize it with light and the removal of ignorance. Shine a light of knowledge on it, and in that way, you can be a better role model, and you can speed your own recovery, and you can start saying no to those things that drag you into what we used to call flaming codependency. You shoot up like a rocket, and you come down in flames like a rocket on fire, and the ground rushes up to meet you, and splat, and there you are. So that's how I came to know I was a codependent. My name's Tony, and I am one. Make a good day.